So I hope the words that I speak today are noted as a challenge rather than condemnation, as they could easily possibly be heard if taken without knowing that I myself am challenged by these words. Martha has just put on a wonderful meal. This has come after Lazarus has been raised from the dead. And so obviously Martha and Mary are very grateful, as is Lazarus as well. And so Martha has gone beyond even her own desire to work hard to put on a wonderful meal. And there's Lazarus as well, feeling a lot better than he had done previously, obviously. Everyone is buzzing of what they have witnessed. Death holds no barriers to Jesus. And then Mary comes with a pound, or say half a litre in our translation here, of perfume made from nard. That's an oil that comes from the honeysuckle family, which grows in the Himalayas of Nepal, China and India, apparently. And she pours it over Jesus' feet and then wipes it with her hair. Tom Wright says that her letting down her hair was the equivalent of, in a polite dinner party, a woman with a long dress hitching it up to the top of her thighs. I will add, maybe tucking it into her knickers as well, I don't know, but to keep it up there. It was seen as something a little bit embarrassing and a little bit out of the ordinary, let's say, that she would let down her hair. What is she doing? Does she have no shame? What she's saying to Jesus? What she's saying to the onlookers? Is there some kind of romantic sexual innuendo going on here? Is she making a play of some kind? What's Martha thinking? Is she thinking, oh my goodness, she's really gone over the top this time? I mean, just sitting at Jesus' feet while I'm busting a gut was one thing. Now, doing this to take center stage, whilst I've been working so hard, has she gone over the top this time? How are the men feeling in that room as she lets down her hair? Are they feeling embarrassed? Are they looking away? And in that moment of silence, Judas explodes through the emotions with a sense of outrage. What a waste! What a waste! He justifies that by saying, we could have sold this. We could have given this money to those who need it. We could have given it to the poor. Bethany was known as a place of the poor. The house of poor is what Bethany actually means. And so he is, in the context there, speaking to maybe what others were thinking as well, but he's the one who comes through with it. What a waste. How do you determine what is a waste? Judas sees it as a waste. Mary doesn't. Why does Judas see it as a waste? Maybe he doesn't seemingly value the presence of Jesus as much as Mary does. Mary doesn't see it as a waste. How do you see worship? Do you see worship as a waste of time and money? Where does the expense of worship get its value? Judas here is taking the moral high ground as he says, what a waste. This money could have been given to the poor. I wonder how the tension in the room is now. There's this woman with her hair down, dripping with perfume, and an accusation of wastefulness is shouted out. Jesus takes control. Leave her alone. I don't think he would have shouted. I think he would have just had a voice of authority and would have just spoken sternly but firmly in that situation. Leave her alone. Jesus sees her heart. Judas sees a waste. Leave her alone. Jesus sees that Mary is putting her priorities on him first, enjoying his presence, enjoying being with him, and just sitting at his feet was not enough. She wanted to show something of value to him and show him how much he loved him. And so this perfume, which was set aside for his burial, is brought out so that he could enjoy it. Dead people can't enjoy the aroma of a perfume. Maybe that's what she was thinking. I want him to be able to smell this perfume. It's so beautiful. I want to pour it all on his feet. How does that relate to us today as we look at this story? Is what really started to challenge me, because I believe there is still a tension within the church between social action and money and worship, and how we spend our time and the role that the church has. What we do to the building, is it a waste of money that could have gone to the poor? Or is it an act of worship that enables us to try and worship him and acknowledge his presence here, and to make this a place that brings glory to him? On Friday, we had some people visiting us for a memorial service. And as they walked in, they just said what an amazing building, and that they could sense something of God's presence here. It's not a waste of money to invest in a place where we can come and worship. And the fact that we seek his presence here, at least week by week, if not day by day, starts to fill this place with his aroma, of his presence here. The tension of social action and worship, both are important. But our worship and desire for God's presence is an extravagance that should be evident when people walk in. It shows the value we have for Jesus. A year's wages went on that perfume. A year's wages to show for a precious moment how much she loved him. It was not a waste to Mary. It was not a waste. My hunch is, if she could have given more, she would have given more. How about us? We sang a song at the beginning. A famous song, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, which finishes, were the whole realm of nature mine, that were an offering far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. What amazing words. What amazing words. But the reality is many of us struggle to tithe to the church itself. Giving our lives is one thing, but when we start talking about money, we start getting a little bit more defensive and how we spend our income. Challenged by Mary just spending a whole year's income for a moment. Do we see tithing as a waste or an act of worship? Do we try to control our tithing so that we still are spending the tenth rather than just giving it over to the body of Christ, the church? Do we like to control and spend our tithing? Do you rather give to the poor than to God? Mary's act is an act of challenge. Do we trust the body of Christ to do the right thing, to help the poor, to raise the dead, to bring solace to those who mourn? Worship is an act of our lives, every aspect, including money, time, and attitude. Mary's response brings affirmation from Jesus because he sees her heart. He sees her love. He sees her response to him. So let us work together to give God the glory he deserves.